Pope Francis, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, was elected Pope of the Catholic Church in 2013. He took the name Francis after Saint Francis of Assisi, who was known for his embrace of poverty and chastity. Since his election, Pope Francis has stamped his own authority on the Church. In particular, he has sought to emphasize the traditional principles in the Gospels of humility, charity, and modesty. He has sought to encourage the Church to place more emphasis on personal religious practice and concern for the poor, rather than issues related to abortion, contraception, and homosexuality. He has personally rejected the more luxurious apartments in the Vatican, preferring to choose simple garments and live in more simple accommodation. Let us allow Jesus into our lives and leave behind our selfishness, indifference, and closed attitudes to others. Pope Francis, the 27th of August 2013. Early life. Pope Francis, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, was born in Flores, a suburb of Buenos Aires, on the 17th of December 1936. He attended a technical secondary school, graduating with a diploma in chemistry. He worked as a chemist in a food laboratory for a few years. In 1955, aged 19, he began studying at a local seminary in Buenos Aires. On March 11, 1957, he entered the Society of Jesus, Jesuits, as a novice. He went to Santiago, Chile, where he studied humanities. On March 12, 1960, he took his initial vows and officially became a Jesuit. During the 1960s, he worked as a teacher, teaching literature and psychology in Santa Fe and Buenos Aires, Argentina. On the 13th of December 1969, after finishing his theological studies, he was ordained to the priesthood and became a professor of theology at the Seminary of San Miguel. Bergoglio took his perpetual vows in 1973 and was appointed provincial superior of the Society of Jesus in Argentina from 1973 to 1979. These were difficult years because of the military junta ruling Argentina. Some of Bergoglio's fellow Jesuits refused to follow the dictates of the government and sought to help left-wing activists in the slums who were being rounded up. Faced with a difficult dilemma, Bergoglio decided to deal officially with the junta. He felt it was important to protect the members of the order. Some Jesuits who were arrested were critical of Bergoglio's actions in not more vigorously safeguarding two priests who were arrested and disappeared by the regime. In an interview in 2010, Bergoglio rejected accusations of aiding the junta, saying, in 1992, he became auxiliary bishop of Buenos Aires, and in 1998 he became the archbishop. As archbishop, he doubled the number of priests working in the slums of Buenos Aires. He was created cardinal by Pope John Paul II in 2001. He held the position of Archbishop of Buenos Aires until 2011, when he resigned, because at the age of 75, it was necessary under church law. Becoming Pope after the death of Pope John Paul II, Bergoglio was said to be a realistic candidate to become the new Pope. But, instead, a strong conservative Cardinal Ratzinger was chosen. However, in 2013, rather unexpectedly, Pope Benedict XVI announced his retirement. Bergoglio was elected on the second day of the papal conclave on the 13th of March. Explaining his choice of name, Pope Francis said of his patron saint, "The man who gives us the spirit of peace, the poor man. How I would like a poor church, and for the poor." Pope Francis' beliefs. Pope Francis developed a reputation for humility and simplicity. He has often chosen to live in simpler accommodation and rejected the more palatial bishops' residences. When elected Pope, he preferred to stay in his current accommodation and didn't move into the Vatican suites. As Archbishop, he took public transport and engaged in the Holy Thursday ritual of washing the feet of the poor, whether in jail or hospital. He has expressed a strong commitment to social justice, arguing that the Gospels express an important commitment to reaching out to the disadvantaged of society and working to improve conditions of the poor. Let us ask the Lord to give us the gentleness to look upon the poor with understanding and love, devoid of human calculation and fear. 24th of September, 2013. Doctrinally, he is considered a conservative. As Archbishop, he instigated pro-life work to prevent abortion. In 2007, he criticized the Argentinian government when it intervened to allow an abortion for a mentally handicapped woman who had been raped. But, on coming to be Pope, he has spoken about the need for the Church to move on from its obsession with issues of sexuality. Pope Francis has said that social work and religious devotion is much more important, and if the Church gets entangled with issues of sexuality, it could fall away.